In today's episode, I talk to you guys about mini cuts. So something that's quite common in the industry at the moment, particularly with younger guys, is this concept of mini cuts. And what mini cuts are, just to define before I give my opinion on them, is you're in a caloric surplus, so you're trying to build lean muscle. That's the goal, and that's why you're in that caloric surplus. But as, I guess, a side effect of being in the caloric surplus, you put on a little bit too much body fat, you're starting to get a little bit too soft, not feeling real good about yourself. So you decide to do a mini cut where you go into quite a significant or a severe caloric deficit for a short period of time. It may be 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. Probably the longest mini cut I've seen is up to 8 weeks. And then you flip the switch again, you go back into caloric surplus, back onto your bulk or whatever you want to call it, where your primary goal is building lean muscle. So effectively, it's this short-term jump from having your primary goal of building lean muscle, being in caloric surplus, for a short term, flipping it, having your primary goal as reducing body fat and being in deficit, and then flipping it back to being in caloric surplus and building lean muscle. This is the definition of these mini cuts that are becoming quite popular, quite prevalent in the fitness industry at this point in time. My opinion on mini cuts is I'm not a big fan of them, and here's why. You guys know that I'm a massive advocate for consistency. I feel like those who are most successful in achieving their health and fitness goals, whatever it may be, whether it's competing or not competing, whatever the health and fitness goal may be, those who are most successful are those who are the most consistent for the longest period of time. Macro level, looking long term, those who are most consistent for the longest period of time towards achieving whatever health and fitness goal they're trying to achieve. I feel like mini cuts disrupt that consistency. They make you go from being consistently in a caloric surplus trying to build lean muscle to then losing that consistency, flipping it for a short period of time, not being in a deficit really long enough to be consistent, then flipping it back out and then kind of trying to be consistent once again with that caloric surplus and that bulk or that lean muscle gain. I feel like mini cuts just disrupt consistency, and I feel like any benefit that you're gonna get psychologically from a mini cut or physically from a mini cut is far outweighed by the amount that it disrupts consistency when you're looking at the long term, when you're looking at macro level health and fitness goals and how much success you're going to achieve when you're working towards those health and fitness goals. So for me personally, I'm not a big fan of mini cuts. What I offer as an alternative to a mini cut is not to go so far into caloric surplus when you start off on your goal of trying to build lean muscle, not to go so far into caloric surplus that you get to a point where you feel like you need to do a mini cut because you're too soft, because you put on too much body fat, because effectively you've been too far in caloric surplus and you've put on this excess body fat as a side effect of being in that caloric surplus. So I feel like if at the start of your bulk or at the start of when your primary goal is to build lean muscle, set up your caloric surplus so that you're no more than 10% in caloric surplus and be consistent with that for as long as you possibly can until you've built enough lean muscle, or until you start your contest prep, or until you start your long-term cut, not your mini cut, your long-term cut. But don't go above 10% in caloric surplus. There's no need for it, guys. There's no purpose. The only thing being more than 10% in caloric surplus is going to do is cause you to put on the excess body fat, is cause the side effect of putting on the excess body fat, which eventually is going to lead to you wanting to do a mini cut to reduce that excess body fat, when the best way to deal with that is to prevent it happening in the first place. Don't go so far in caloric surplus that you're putting on this excess body fat, and you can avoid mini cuts altogether, and you can be more consistent for a longer period of time with your lean muscle gain goals. Guys, that's a wrap for today's episode of MJ Every Day. As always, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn those post notifications on, both on your mobile, your cell phone, and your desktop PC, so you don't miss a beat when it comes to the Massive Joes YouTube channel. Until tomorrow, I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Stay massive.
Thank you for tuning into this video. We hope you enjoyed watching. Don't forget to check out our latest upload and our recommended video, and be sure to subscribe to the Massive Joes YouTube channel to stay up to date with all of our latest uploads.